It's finally the time to change the stock cat. It's actually already changed. I'm filming this afterwards, but with that being said, hello and welcome to this video where today I'm going to change the cat on the car. I'm going to replace it with a custom made high flow catalytic converter. We're gonna, as usual, measure the before and after in terms of horsepower with the virtual dyno. I'm gonna give you my impressions on the sound um, and the weight as well. If there's difference, there was difference, and then I'm gonna give you my overall thoughts after I drove it a little bit, how it feels. Is it upgrade worth making? And spoiler alert, it is. And yeah, I have a few materials from left from while I was making it. It was during the time I was making my seat rails for the seats, but I couldn't film all of the things because there were some people like constantly coming to watch what I'm doing, and it was very annoying, so I couldn't film all of them. But I have some materials while I'm making the actual cat, but nonetheless that's not so interesting because I'm not that good of a welder myself, so there's not much you can learn from me. But you can definitely see the results that I got, and you can see for yourself is it worth doing it. And yeah, with that being said, let's jump back a few months actually, and let's see what I've done. Here are some insights from my custom catalytic converter. I just welded this bunk. This will be for the wideband sensor that I got. This is the entrance of the downpipe, so this is facing the cat. So this is facing the downpipe. There's the auto sensor, there's the cat, and this is the OEM bunk, the stock position for the rear auto sensor. So the weld, well, it's not perfect, but I think it's quite strong. It turned out really good. Also, I welded this pipe to this one because this was from the factory, it was a bit stretched. So I decided to weld another one and then weld the flange on that instead. And yeah, here the welds I think came out quite good. And then on the this end, I'm going to weld this pipe like that. And as you know, the stock cat has a bit of a turn, so I'm gonna use this to do the turn, and then I have another basically the same as this pipe, and I'm gonna weld it the other way around, so it should just come right in the place for the catback. But we'll see if that happens as easy as it sounds. Anyways, I started this, it looks kind of okay, so I'll continuing the work on it. Okay, after I brushed it with a wire brush, well, I gotta say, not too shabby. You can see how much material though I burned, but the inside is fine. I think I just barely managed to keep the inside from burning off, but yeah, that's good. For my skill level, it's very good. Here's how I'm gonna weld the flange. So the pipe was a bit wrapped, I mean it was a bit bent because of the heat from the bunk, but I managed to hammer it in, and I'm just gonna trim those pieces that are sticking out. It's well adjusted, so we should be good. Then I'm gonna pour the argon from the bunk. I'm gonna trap this, I'm gonna make a custom heat sink for the flange, so a piece of metal, and I'm just gonna hold it in tight, and this will be closed so the gas will go out, and then I'm gonna try to weld it here. So simple plan, but I already broke one flange from a poor welding tactic, so hopefully this goes better. Here's how I'm gonna do this. this piece of metal is gonna act like a heat sink. This is shielded to avoid the gas going out. The gas is gonna flow from here, or actually maybe here, but it's a bit too close to the top. So yeah, I'll try from here first. I'm gonna tack it 4 times, or yeah, 4 times, and then I'm gonna start welding. Alright, purging is being done. It's sealed. I'm doing 82 amps and I'm ready to start. Okay, somewhat working, but for the first try. Okay, let's switch it up, not overheat. And as you can see, not so good, but I think I need to concentrate the heat a little bit more on the flange, and it should work. Let's test that theory. There are still some holes, but it's getting better, which is good. Let's go back. Going good, pretty good. Alright, it's time to do a before test. So I've got my tactile cable connected to Evoluton, and I'm just gonna do 3rd gear pull 1 or 2 times, and then I'm gonna try to change the cat today so I can do a proper before and after. Here we go. One is ready. Let's do one more. Okay, and I think we're done. I'm gonna check the logs to see if there's anything funny going on, and yeah, I'll go straight to work. Yesterday I welded pretty much everything. I have only 2 welds left to do, and probably some cutting. And yeah, I gotta remove the current cat, which might be a little bit of problem because the O2 sensor is a bit stuck there, so hopefully I can manage to remove it quickly. And also, if you watch my previous video for the downpipe, you know that someone welded the bolts onto the cat, to the flange, so I need to cut those, but this will be easier than, I think, than removing the O2 sensor, but I'll let you know. Okay, today starts actually quite well. This time I'm in a proper location to do this, and what I just did, the car was warmed up. I just sprayed some WD, waited 2 minutes, and check this out. Oh yeah. Yes. So this means that I have to cut those on the 2 sides to remove the cat, and then I can pretty much take it out, take the measurements, weld the new one, and I should be ready. Here it is, it's out. I just trimmed off the bolts here. As you can see, someone welded the nuts on the other side, so it wasn't possible to unbolt. So anyway, let me show you the inside of a stock Cat. I don't know if you can see. Let me turn on the flashlight. Okay, so check this out. I mean, this is just impossible to see through. Imagine the bottleneck that this is creating. And let me show you the racing Cat. I mean, you can even, as you can see the light from the other side, so this one should be very, like, much less restrictive. Like, it's more of an intercooler than a Cat, so I would expect to see some good gains. Anyway, the other thing that I'm checking right now is, I just didn't notice that, but the curvature is a bit down, not just right, and this one is straight right because I didn't know and I just welded it. So this might be a little bit of an issue, but yeah, I'll see. Eventually I might do it straight. I mean, this is a bigger pipe, so it might fall into place, but I'll try to make it as close to the OEM as possible. There we have it. It's ready. Here I think I did quite a good job. This one not so much, but still it's a good weld. Yeah, only one thing left to do. Weld a mounting point here, and then I'm gonna put this into the car. So here it is, fully completed, with this little bracket that I made to hold it in place. So I did this by just by welding this bolt here, and then this piece of metal on the bolt, and then the rubber, and then a nut, and it should be fine. So to fix the misadjustments, I decided to build this template from the old one and just work up the new Cat to match the old one perfectly. So I think this should be quite enough to make a perfect fit. So for the rear O2, while I was removing it, I think I broke the thread, or it was broken, I don't know, but ended up using this. It's an 18 by 5 type of thread repair. So I don't know if you have this. I'm from a post-Soviet country, so we call this plashka. I don't know how it's called in other places, but any sort of thread repair kit probably do the job. So the thread is fine, and I can bolt it to the O2 sensor, which is after the Cat, so this can do its job properly. And of course the wideband will go into the front one, and we should be good. Okay, so the stock Cat is 5 kilograms. Let's see how much the new one is. 1 kilogram less. Perfect. You know I gotta do it. Wow. I decided to add the wideband too, so I'm gonna show you the air-fuel ratio. Unfortunately, I didn't have the bunk to show it air-fuel ratio before that, but here you can see it. I'm gonna do a stock tune, and I'm just gonna put this in, and then we'll see how much leaner, if at all, the car becomes after you install a high flow Cat, because I've read online that it becomes leaner. So we're gonna put that to the test and see some exact numbers. About the installation, well, there's a bunch of videos online showing you how to do it exactly, so I'm not gonna show that. I'm just gonna try to find a way to pass this through the cabin. This here is gonna be wired to the 12 volt socket because I'm gonna use this for my Lancer and my Evo, so it's gonna be portable, so I decided to install it like that. So red is positive, black is negative, white is for the dimming, but it's connected to the negative too. It's calibrated according to the instructions here. If you have any doubts just ask it in the comments and I'll help you out, but that's pretty much it. And now I'm gonna install it in the car. Alright, first numbers are out, so it's not a perfect one-to-one comparison. Of course, I haven't changed anything to the car except the cat, but the temperature has changed. I have adjusted it here, so this was 1 degrees Celsius, so 33 Fahrenheit, and here it is around 20 degrees now, so 68. And here is the result. The red is the old one, and as you can see, the new one gains quite a lot of power on the mid range and some torque, and that can be actually felt. Here you can see that we gain some boost as well on the mid range. Probably from here comes all of the power. Anyways, the tune is absolutely stock. The only thing that I've changed to the tune is I disabled the rear auto sensor because I broke the thread, so it's currently out, but that's not affecting it in any way. So there's definitely a gain here, but I think I can probably get even more now that I have the wideband. As you can see, it's installed here, and actually the purple or the pink AFR is the actual AFR, and the red one, the old one, is the AFR map. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of discrepancy here, so be careful. I can even give you some numbers. So this is the new pull that I just did today. Check out the 4000 RPM. So according to the AFR, we are about 13, so quite lean. But according to the AFR map, we are, let's see, around 11.6, which is just about the desired number. So this might fool you into thinking that you're all good, but in fact you're probably a bit lean. Although at 4000 RPM, that's actually good because I think it's considered to be a lean spool. So, and we don't have any knock, so we're good. But that's just something to keep in mind. Anyways, now that I have this, I can start playing around with those few tables. So I can definitely lean out here the top of the stack to see how much power can I gain from that. But yeah, I won't bother you with that on this video. I'll just show you the result. I'm gonna do a separate video for tuning. Also, I'll try to find a day where it's a bit colder, probably in the morning. If I can get it close to 1 degrees and do the pull, then this will be, I mean, not that I don't trust the calculations here, but I want to make it exact one-to-one comparison. So it's a spring already, but there probably will be a few days where in the morning it's a bit cold, so I'll go and try to rerun it. But I can feel the improvement, and the dyno can feel the improvement, so this one is officially worth upgrading, especially if you do it yourself, because it's actually comes around quite cheap for me. So it's been a few days later and I managed to find a cold morning, so the temperatures are pretty much the same. One run is 2 degrees, the other is 3 degrees Celsius. So I've adjusted them, basically I set them to 40 Fahrenheit to be consistent. And yeah, you can see the gain really starts from 5000 RPM up. Other than that, it's leapfrog basically, but here it's about 10 horsepower. And do I feel them? Kinda. Maybe I feel the sound more because it's a bit more wilder, the higher RPMs, but we have it. It's consistent throughout multiple runs, so that's good. And as far as the AFRs, the blue one here is after, and this is taken for the wideband. The data is being taken from the wideband, and this is for the AFR map, basically a calculated AFR. So here you can see that we are just at the edge of 11, so this is actually quite good. I can bump it up to 11.3 or 11.5, but this in its current state for me it's kind of also good. Yeah, if you're interested to see if these values, the calculated, are correct, well, I can tell you that they're pretty much correct if you're running a stock car. So basically, if there wasn't no cat, any sort of modifications, this should be very correct guess. Basically, whatever it says here should be the equivalent in real time AFR. So once you start tuning, this will probably no longer be correct, but it's good enough, I guess, if you want to tune without a wideband. But now that I have it, I'm gonna use it. As you can see, it's temporary. I'm going to use it until I do a proper tune of the car, and then I'm gonna use it on my other car. But anyway, this is the improvement. You can see that it's consistent with the 20 degrees run. As you can see, same thing, mix and match here, but on the top end we are gaining some power. So that's pretty much it, I guess. There is some benefit. Okay, so welcome back again. A few months later, I think it was in March, now it's June, although today is very cold. I'm wearing this jacket, but it was 32 degrees Celsius a few days ago. Today is like 16. I don't know what's going on, but for the Cat, I've been driving it quite a lot, few thousand kilometers already. I'm very happy with it. The sound, I don't know if I already mentioned that previously, the sound is a bit deeper, so now you can hear a car a bit better. Especially, I'm currently in the process of testing the intake, so I have an OEM intake but without the box, so it's making quite some good noise. Couple that with the Cat is very nice. What else? Yeah, the sound's good. The power, definitely there. Actually, now I can do actually a bit of spoilers. I already have the intake and the exhaust manifold installed. The manifold looks like an MA Performance one, but it's a custom made. But still, those, especially the intake, didn't give any performance improvement so far. Currently it does without the box, but it sucks hot air, so I'm trying to fix that. Anyways, those two not so much, but the Cat was the cheapest one actually, because I did it myself and it gained the best amount of power so far, so I'm very happy with that. I'm interested to seeing how the catback will result once I make that as well, but it's not gonna be I just want a better place to do it because the way I did the Cat is, I don't see myself doing the catback as well. But yeah, the gains here are good. The only thing that was a bit not working properly was like the smell. It was smelling like rotten eggs. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. The issue was my tune, so basically it was a bit too rich. Once I touched up the tune and leaned out the AFRs, basically I set them to be between 11.3 and 11.7 on the wideband. It stopped smelling, at least on some gas stations. Shell tends to smell a little bit, so I started not to refuel from there. But yeah, that was the reason for the smell. Overall, very nice upgrade. I'm happy with it. And yeah, if you want some like cheap power increase, I would suggest you go that. I mean, you can even go with the test pipe, but I'm not a fan of that. I would like my car not to smell, and yeah, and I would like it not to pollute as much. So yeah, currently once it warms up, it stops smelling. Before that, it smells like a petrol, so it smells like there's no cat first like 10 minutes, but after that it's quite well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this one. Stay tuned for the manifold, for the intake, for the sway bars. I just installed the sway bars and I'm absolutely happy with them. I haven't recorded the video with my impressions yet because I wanted to test as much as I can. But yeah, stay tuned, there's quite a few things coming. So yeah, thanks for watching and hopefully I see you next time.